Good evening and salutations, my Days of Our Lives fans. So let's talk about Rafe and Nicole. Um, so Nicole has this really bad dream of Ava coming in there and just, shooting Rafe. Now at first, the way this whole scene plays out, she walks in there and she's all like, "Oh, you thought you got rid of me?" And then she's just like, "You know what? I tried that whole revenge plan thing and it was just way too complicated." And I just remember I'm a lot more simpler than that. And she pulls out a gun and, she fires a shot. And I'm sitting there thinking, of course, this is a dream because it just says. And of course, Nicole wakes up and, tells Rafe about the dream and everything like that. And um, not that long after, Gabby just kind of busts through the door. I'm sitting there looking at this whole thing, and I'm like, you do realize that he could have been in a very compromising position when you just walked in. So anyway, she comes in, she got the tape, shows Rafe. Rafe gives it to Melinda, and then they just get a warrant at that point. Now Nicole is kind of worried about this whole thing because Nicole's like, "Yo, listen, I think that Rafe said that it may not be admissible in court." And with that being said, Nicole's like, "Yo, listen, this woman's dangerous, okay? If we don't get her, it's not gonna end well. Like, like I know this chick." Um, but Rafe was like, "Yo, listen, we're gonna take her down and yada yada yada. Don't worry about it. It's gonna be fine." Now Jake still having back problems. Ava comes back, makes him some food, um, gives him a massage on his back, and of course at this point, Jake is all like, "Yeah, yeah, harder, give me more." I'm not gonna lie, I did actually find their scenes quite enjoyable. Not just that scene, but also the scene before then. Um, they just have this really good. I don't want to say chemistry because I'm not really into that, but they have this really good back and forth banter with each other that just works. Um, anyway, where was I? So Ava's that they're working on Rafe's back. I mean, working on Jake's back, and Gabby just once again walks on in there. And she starts gloating and she's all like, listen, I'm just going to leave you two alone. And I'm just, you know what? I'm not going to sit there and bother either one of y'all because life is too short and yada, yada, yada. Jacob's like, all right, what's going on? Because it's not like you just simply give up and whatever. I'm pretty much waiting for the other shoe to drop. Not that long after, they hear the cops. And, Ava's like, yep, well, that's that other shoe. Rafe comes in there, and Rafe is like, listen, I could have let another cop do this, but I want to do this personally. So, he puts her in cuffs, takes her down to, um, take her down to the station, and he's all like, yo, listen, I got that evidence, I got that tape. It's a wrap for you. You are done, so. It was like, yo, I want my call in privacy. Now, she winds up calling Abby. I'm sitting there thinking, wouldn't this be a good time for you to get one of your goons to go out to Gabby? Gabby is Gabby's all super proud of herself. Like, oh, I took down Ava when nobody else was able to do it. Not the cops, not the FBI. Just good old fashioned me. And I'm like, all right, Gabby. Just be aware that Ava. I mean, Ava's not. She's no joke. Gloating now. Let's see how long that pretty smile just wound up lasting on her face. Um, because between Ava and the guy who said, "Oh no, I got your back. I work with the DA," somebody's going to come out to Gabby. Somebody's going to come out to Gabby. And at this point, Ava can't stand Rafe and can't stand Gabby. And the only reason why Gabby was still probably walking with two legs was because, their relationship. And that's done so. So it's open season on all of them. Now, Nicole winds up going to Brady's pub and, she's on her phone, she's talking, and then I guess she gets a drink or whatever, turns around, it's Eric. Now, a couple of people have actually said that Eric was coming back for a little bit, and I was just like, it seemed kind of odd. It seemed kind of odd. Maybe it makes sense. The first time he came back, well, second time he came back was, to exorcise the devil out of Marlena. I guess the third time was going to be like that too. I'm assuming he's going to have to sit there and clearly do another exorcist. One that actually hopefully works, but I guess time will tell. So Abby runs into Leo, and Leo's like, "Hey, listen, I want to sit there and have a little chit chat with you, about you trying to set me up and everything like that." And it's one of those things where it's like they went back and forth. Nothing really came of it except for the fact that, they both found out that they both knew Gwen and that Gwen was, Abby's half sister. So they're going back and forth. Nothing out the ordinary. Just the usual sniping back and forth. Gwen gets there. Um, and not that long after, Xander gets there. Now Xander turns around and after looking at Gwen, is like, "Oh, what's that man doing here?" Like, "Oh no, that's my friend Maddie." He was like, "No, no, no, no. It's Leo Stark." So he's annoyed. He's a little kind of pissed off, more annoyed than anything else. He's like, "Yo, listen, I'm not doing this whole wedding thing with him. Like, I want no parts of him." I don't know what happened with those two. I don't know if this happened during a Beyond the Salem storyline or was this just something that happened before. But, Leo brings up the fact that, there was a point that you tried to screw me over, you drugged me, you tried to make it seem like, you know, we were sleeping together or whatever. So to be honest, I should be mad at you and actually kick you away from the wedding. Gwen is like, she really wants to do it. And even before, when Gwen was there talking to Xander, it almost looked like Xander was having cold feet. He kept, you know, um, talking about, oh, because, find out that it's actually that day. And, well, today or whatever. Because Xander's like, what about this? What about that? What about the third? What about that? Yada, yada, yada. And Gwen is like, it seemed like you made about 16 excuses. Are you sure you want to do this? This is one of those things where I feel like Xander is just lying to himself. I don't know if, in reality, I feel like Gwen is a consolation prize. And ordinarily, I'd be like, nah, you don't deserve to be a consolation prize to anyone. But since Gwen has done all the dirtiness that she's done, I really don't care. um, but yeah, Gwen is like, she really wants to do the wedding, and she really likes the idea of this wedding. It's going to be a dream wedding and everything like that. So Xander's like, all right, fine. Um, so they gonna go through with this whole wedding thing. Sonny has convinced Chad to come with him to New York to track down this woman named Jackie to try to get the goods on her, the goods on him, and hopefully stop the wedding. And Chad is like, yo, listen, we tried before, and Chloe accepted it. You got to let this go. But Sonny is out for revenge, and I get where he's coming from. This dude got him fired, humiliated him, um, and just really screwed him over and really screwed over his self confidence. So I get where Leo's coming. I mean, I get where Sonny's coming from. He's like, yo, listen, I really want to do it, and I really need your help. And Chad agrees. Now, the thing I like about this scene, there's been a lot of scenes where Chad has been well, known to act like a dick, like a privileged, like a privileged, self-entitled dick. But when it comes towards Chad, I mean, when it comes towards Sonny, he actually acts like a human being. Like it's very rare that you see him not being this well, privileged dick. Obviously when he's with Abby and when he's with Theo. I think that's his name, Theo. It's been so long since he's actually been on the show. I'm really just like, is it Theo? I think it's Theo. Yes, Theo. So it's actually nice to sit there and see him be like human and kind and stuff like that. So he agrees to sit there and go. My whole thing is like, well, what happens when you get to New York and you find a Jackie person? Do you really think you're gonna sit there and get any information that could be used to, take Leo down and stop this whole wedding thing? Because I mean, I don't know the relationship. I didn't finish watching Beyond Salem, but if this person is supposed to be their partner in crime, well, why would they want to sit there and help you out taking down Leo? I'm a little confused. But then again, I didn't finish watching the rest of it, so they could have fallen out. Who knows? Oh, towards the end of the episode, Leo gets a Leo gets a paper. Um, well, he gets a mail. He opens it up. He sees that it says a prenup, and the look of disappointment on his face was so great. It was so great. Now, with that being said, I'm going to be honest. I'm actually liking Leo on the show. He does bring a certain level of pizzazz to the show, a certain flair, as you know. I don't know. I like I said, I like him being on the show so far, and I get that he has a long list of things he's done to screw over a lot of people. But he's definitely a fun character to have. So when I saw him in Beyond Salem, like all his scenes were just very fun and entertaining. So I'm definitely enjoying him being on the show so far. Now Abigail comes in and she sees Chad and Sonny, and they're telling her about the trip that they're about to sit there and leave. And Sonny's like, listen, we're gonna be going for a while, so why don't do what you can to sit there and start a wedding. But Abby's like, yo, there's a good chance that that wedding is either not gonna happen or they're all gonna want to be in divorce before the end of the night or before the end of the week. So I don't think you should really worry about it too much. Now, of course, after they left, that's when Ava decided to call Abby, which is a really odd move. You could have got in touch with anyone. Use your one phone call to call Abby. Whatever dirt that she has up her sleeve, I'm assuming is good. Because I don't think she would just sit there and waste a call, you know, call Abby as opposed to calling, anyone else. I feel like that's about it. It wasn't a bad episode. I feel it's one of those things where it's like you have cliffhanger Fridays, and I just don't really feel like this was that much of a cliffhanger. I mean, it just seems like it's like every other day where they kind of leave you on a cliffhanger, but not really. Um, I guess so. They did have Eric show up, so I guess this is as much of a cliffhanger as you're gonna sit there and get. So yeah, with that being said, I'm gonna go. I want to thank you for watching. Be safe. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below, and I will see you in the next video.